Good evening. Please, please get some food and drink. Help yourself. Am I live? Can y'all hear me? Okay. I was trying to wait for the bishop to get here, but I guess we'll say our personal prayers before we ate. So. Avery, you want to get this? I'm going to go on and do the awards. Good evening. There's just some very special people in this room that, and I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. I hope you understand the reason for the season. I hope you, and I don't know if you got to see the statue. We all know today is George Floyd's birthday, along with Congresswoman Chavez. Council member, I'm sorry. Oh, well, see, I'm projecting something. Upgrade. We wanted you to understand the reason for today. The statue is there. I want you guys to go out and take a look. I hope the lights come on, because the county was so gracious. They put lights on the statue. But what was missing was the marker. The marker that told you the story. And the county has agreed to provide that. We talked about and discussed the wording, and we made sure that it represents what the giving of this man's life meant to everybody, to us, the changes that are coming in the criminal justice system and social, and all of the things that are happening, the conversations that are being had. We're just excited about all of that. And so we know that if we don't remember, we will forget. And if you forget, you'll repeat it. And we know that's real. If any of us that's lived long enough, some of this stuff we've seen before. So we want to make sure that we put that statue, it's permanent. Bronze, that looks just like it did the day we put it there. And it will continue to look like that. And we want the story told so that generations to come won't have to wonder, who is this guy out there with the hat on backwards, looking like he's real cool. because that's what it looks like. But he had dreams, and he gave his life for us. Whether it was on purpose or not, it happened. And we benefited from it later on. So we want everybody to remember that and be about that. I can't say enough about, I want to get it right. Commissioner, I don't want to get the title wrong again, who so graciously has been so supportive in all of this. And with that, I just want to make sure that the people who kind of been in the trenches with me since we got this concept, we want to make sure we go through. I don't want to start with because Commissioner Ellis may want to say something. I want to start with Jeff Boney. This is just a token, Jeff, but it says it's an honorary, but it's for advocates. These people are advocates for the community. You need people to stand in the gap for you, because you can't do it. You can't do it sometimes, but when you have folks at other levels, oh yes, we do. Okay. Oh, you're welcome. Jeff, from the beginning, take that out of here. Let me have Reagan's. While she's up here, you may as well stay. Dr. Reagan Flowers, I don't know, you guys, Reagan, her STEM project, she's partnered with me in projects. We do art projects, and so STEAM now instead of STEM with the A. Addis Middle School was a recipient of a scholarship as a result of our partnership, so we're really excited. But with this project, this is the first person I called with my idea. And we were talking about the CUNY homes at first, and she was coming from work, and she says, wait, and she ran over and took a picture and said, we should have it here, and then immediately after she did that, we started the first, this was how it started, and I just want to say thank you. And she's been with me this whole journey. It's been a journey. And that led us to Councilwoman Dr. Carolyn Chavez, because she made the phone call. See, she had a cell phone number. I have it now, but I didn't have it then. So she called me. Thank you so much. And this lady here, well, she's been on it. She is a tiger. You have a real leader in Dr. Chavez. She's tight like the tiger by the tail. She was not turning loose. We appreciate you so much.
I was upset.
Yes, she was.
I ordered it in the CUNY homes, right?
Right.
And we thought about it, couldn't get the cooperation that we needed. But God was in the plan. Because, I believe that this is a great place for that statue, so that people can come from far and wide to see George Floyd and not just confine him to the CUNY homes. And so I think it was a great decision. I have forgiven Rodney 10 times over. I kept saying, you stole my statue, you stole my statue. But at any rate, I'm very glad that it's here, and I thank you for what you have done. You stuck with it. You said, come on, let's get this done, and it came to fruition. It was you and the artists. You brought us in for us to look at it in different days. It gave us an opportunity to even express ourselves with art. And so thank you so very much.
Where's the artist? Robert. Robert is not. Is Robert here? Okay, Robert Hodge is not here, so we're going to just pass that on to the commissioner's table over there. He's working. Commissioner's got this mural project. This morning, got that phone call. Be an hour. Got a press conference. May throw you a plug. But they're doing 9 murals. I think their press conference is tomorrow. And Robert is an art consultant with the county. But I wanted to thank him as well, because from the beginning, Robert has been every step of the way making sure that it happened, from the artist's perspective and all of that. He's always, logistics and that kind of thing. Even today, he's been by here. He's not here now, but I want to thank him. So we're going to give this to the commissioner. We'll hold it for him. And this is right. special person that I want to give something to before I give this to you, Commissioner Ellis. And she doesn't know that I had this, on this honorable, this advocate award for her. Sharita Tate, are you in the room? Where are you? Where's Sharita? Surprise, surprise. See, she didn't know. Everybody else knew but her. But see, guess what? She probably was the first person that told me, oh, I'll be there. Because she didn't, it doesn't matter. Sharita is with the George Floyd Foundation. And from the beginning, from the first phone call, what have you, she's been there. They were over there looking at that when George was to make sure it was a likeness, because she represented the family and her mom and her sister, and they've been here the whole way. You notice, if you look on the program, it says Floyd Family Favorites on there by Chef Betty. My husband over here cooking delectables. But we learned on that day that they love a home cooking and good food. I said, those black eyed peas, man, we were trying. But they just wasn't cooperating. But we got the kale and the lamb chops and things like that. So they're a wonderful family.
Well, thank you so much. I really am surprised that you're doing this, and I really appreciate it. It's from the very beginning when you contacted us and asked would we be involved in it. I was privileged that anybody was even thinking about doing something in his honor and to carry on his legacy. And so it's kind of like all of us after his murder, we're just committed to doing anything that we could in this field. Don't forget. So I am grateful for you and for your passion and commitment to make sure that this thing can be fruition. You're a person who gets it done. And you don't give up. There are a lot of obstacles and you can call me and we talk about it. And as I said, there's something much to be done. So thank you for all that you've done for our family.
And this is Dr. Sharita Tate. She recently got her PhD. Someone else just came in the room before Rodney. You got just a few more minutes, Rodney? Bishop Dixon, would you come up, please? Where's Bishop Dixon? Okay, he doesn't. No, he is late, so he has to get his award and wait on his food. This is Bishop Dixon. Bishop Dixon, I tell you, every project, it seems like whatever, we did another statue together. I hate the sculptress is late because she drove in from Austin and she had some problems. But he knows when the first statue we did, when we donated to TSU, the bishop wasn't even on the program. I didn't even know him. But he loved and admired the fuck we were honoring. And I said, we need you to buy some time. And he got up and talked probably about 15 minutes. When had he stalled him. And I said, who is this guy, And, he's president of NAACP, and he's now chairman of the Houston Sports Authority, Harris County Sports Authority, I'm sorry. And so he's a fantastic and important guy. And we all appreciate you. So I told him we could go on and eat. You didn't pray. We prayed over our food. Well, I told them they did individual prayers, right? I just wanted to thank you and honor you.
Let me say good afternoon or good evening to everybody this evening. No, good evening to everybody. It's a great evening, right? You know your name, your address, you got up on your own, walked in here on your own 2 feet. That's a blessing. And let me just say I'm here humbled to receive this award. I don't know anyone who is as quiet and yet as impactful as Danette. She is a quiet powerhouse. Well, it depends on when you catch her. You understand. But when I met her, I said, this lady has been stealth and yet doing something really monumental and helping us to appreciate the fact that we've got to be able to memorialize greatness in our community. Something we have not done a good job at. You walk or drive around Houston, you don't see monuments and things that point to the significance of African Americans. Freeways, streets, you don't see it. And but Nanette has taken it upon herself to be philanthropic in such a way that for generations to come, yes, we remember the tragedy of George Floyd, but we'll also remember how people rallied around making his name to mean something special. Yes, we'll remember at some point those people whose name on that statue at TSU tonight, and we'll remember that greatness came our way. I grew up in the Heights, Acres Homes area, and I can tell you when I drive through now, my heart aches because there's nothing to say anything about the great men and women who came through those neighborhoods, making them great, making them sustainable and worth living in. So thank you for the model. I appreciate this. I receive this on behalf of all those people on whose shoulders I stand. My grandparents, both on the Barnes and Dixon side. And I tell people, if I turned out to be nothing, I have to work real hard at it because my parents and grandparents did too much to make sure we turned out to be something. So I'm grateful for that. Thank you so very much. God bless you, and may God keep all of you and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you. Now let me say something about this commissioner who's doing this. I probably talk to Rodney Ellis 4 or 5 times a week at least, and I don't know a person whose brain works like his. Commissioner Ellis is thinking about 50 things at one time and can talk about 70 things at one time and make a difference in all of them at the same time. Thank you for the support. Am I right about it? If you work with him, you already know, right? I mean, he could be talking in one sentence and tell you about 5 different projects without getting to the period and thinks you remember what he said. And I said, okay, thank you, Commissioner, I got it. But I appreciate you so very much and for what you're doing supporting the net with this art. He's into art. And that's something we've got to do more about. Do you know about the mural across the street? You should tell them about that because Commissioner Ellis is doing something across the street with this, I don't want to spill it, amazing, amazing mural that is history. And then of course, the lake across the street to honor the eminent Reverend Dr. William A. Lawson is going right across the street. All of that is this man's brain working overtime to make sure we know how much God has blessed us with people who made a difference over the decades. And partnering with the NET, that's an amazing team. Thank you so much, Commissioner.
A man who needs no introduction.
Thank you. First, I want to say happy birthday to George Floyd. This would be his 49th birthday. And secondly, I want to say thank you to his family for being so gracious and letting us memorialize him here on county property, and just for the grace in which you carried yourself through proceedings. Thirdly, Kay, I want to thank you because it was your idea to do the statute. And in this new job, it's amazing how many ideas people come to me with, but usually they don't bring money. And you know, I am from Sunnyside. Councilwoman, it was appropriate to put it out here in Sunnyside because one thing Teresa and Elijah Ellis taught me was how to make my damn point, Bishop. And it's amazing how I'll get all these bright ideas, but when it's time to pay for it, you gotta have money. And sometimes I'll tell people that's a wonderful idea. How about if I raise your taxes so we can do, oh, no. So, Kay, thank you. Because it would have just been an idea if you hadn't come up with the money. So give Kay a warm round of applause. We love her and we appreciate her. And she does not stop. You are at the Tom Bass Community Center. Tom Bass was ahead of his time. State rep, a liberal, white Democrat. When most of the Democrats were racist and right-wing, the Republican Party didn't matter. Then eventually, that crew left and went to the other party. You got me? But Tom Bass was a county commissioner and wanted to go to Congress. He ran for Congress. He did such a good job of getting along with his peers. He announced he was running for Congress. Under the law, that meant he had to resign his seat. He didn't know it. And so then they reappointed him to continue his term. It helped our congressman from this area, Congressman Al Green, was the justice of the peace. And Al Green had the unmitigated gall to run for mayor, so that he didn't know he had to resign too. So it was an automatic resignation, and he'll tell you, I love Tom Bass, because had it not been for Tom Bass, his political career would have been over with. So it's appropriate. Councilwoman, initially Kay wanted to do this at CUNY Homes. And I think maybe even before you got there, I'm not sure on council, I called over to the Housing Authority working on that, and that kind of ran into a host of issues. And then she thought about putting it at HISD on the George Floyd field. And we went down that for a little while, and then I said, well, look, Kay, I'm getting tired of this. Hell, let's put it in front of City Hall. I mean, you know what I mean? I said, look, whatever you want, I'll do it. But let's just figure it out. And then I said, look, there are a group of parks that the county controls, that this precinct controls. You go look at all of them, and you figure out where you want to go. I said, I think the most interesting one, which we never go to, is out at Lake Houston, Dewson Park. And I said, it's very tranquil. It'll be a good time for him to reflect. You know, so she looked around. She looked over at Fifth Ward, at Finnegan, at some of the others, only because it was a little easier not to have to go through some of the hoops or have a vote. You know, I could control it if it was in my precinct. She chose this one. And, you know, when she did, I kind of thought about it. And I said, well, he is buried right down the street, so maybe take it. So that may be one that would make sense. But I think you made a good choice. Across the street, we're going to move the John Biggers mural, which has been abandoned a good decade before I got here. We're going to move it downtown to another interesting park. If you come to that event tomorrow, we're going to put it in downtown Houston. Thank you for clapping, because initially the staff told me they're going to raise all, now nobody's seen it. You know what I mean? It's too dark now, nobody's seen it for a decade. But as soon as you get ready to move it, some of these Negroes would, oh no, it's supposed, but did you know it would, no, but you can't move it. So we pulled together a little committee, and I explained to them, now either we can move it, or it's going to remain abandoned because it's in the floodplain. And I think it's going to cost $1 million or $2 million to jack it up, and then you still can't air condition it. So we're going to move that to downtown in the Family Law Center. You all have forgotten.
I didn't know you lived at all.
Yeah.
Tell them, because he's a historian, tell them why it's at Adair Park in the first place.
It's at Adair Park because Christy Adair was a suffragette. She was a leader with the NAACP here in Houston, and marched and demonstrated for women to have the right to vote, although it didn't include women that looked like us, the three of us. But she did that. And she was still alive when I went on city council. Obviously, I met her when I was working for Bill Hobby and then with Mickey Leland. That's why these pictures matter. I wish I kept some of those pictures. In fact, we dug up an old article when it was dedicated, and they had a fast-talking, overweight council member who presented a resolution on behalf of Mayor Kathy Whitmire. It was me. And I wish I had those pictures now. But we're going to move that downtown to the Family Law Center, which is where we're going to put the lynching memorials, Carl Davis, in honor of the 4 people that we know were lynched in Harris County, didn't have a right to due process, didn't have a right to a counsel, didn't have the option of posting bail. They just got a rope and lynched them. And we want to honor them. It'll be a park in downtown Houston. So we're going to put that in the base of the Family Law Center. There's a lot of glass around the building. The county's going to redo the building. Most of you all don't remember that Family Law Center. I do, because that's where my ex-wife went, your cousin, to divorce me. That's the Family Law Center, but we're not going to go there. We're going to honor Tom. We're going to honor Miss Adair with something else across the street. You didn't know that was my cousin, did you? Once a cousin, always a cousin. And we're going to do something to honor Reverend Bill Lawson across the street as well. But look, I want you to know this. George Floyd's death sparked more demonstrations than any event in the history of the world. You hear what I said? You go Google it. Now, after that, and I would say because of what his death sparked, if you Google it, there was one other event that triggered more demonstrations. It was in India. But they got 1 billion people. You got me? Only in India. But I think after they saw that go on around the world, and I want you to know this event is important tonight on his birthday. Kay wanted to celebrate him living, not him dying. That's why she opted to do this here. This is a small group, but we want to try to do something annually to make the point that we need to be vigilant about those issues that for a short moment, maybe a year and a half, the eyes of the planet focus on issues of equity. All around, wherever it was, people throwing old racist statues in the ground in England, in the river in England, and then it went away. Which leads to my concluding comment. You better vote like your life depended on it. It does. In this county, they were running this place like a plantation when I got there. And not a very well-run plantation. Former county judge heard me say that and text me. He was angry. You know what I responded? Well, you did run it like a damn plantation. I think I got a little more knowledge about how a plantation would run from the vantage point of somebody being kicked in the back than somebody in charge of it. But they want it back. It's not enough for you to vote. That's not enough votes. You got to get your friends to vote. This county judge race matters. They gave that woman running against her, against Lena Hidalgo, $4.9 million of dirty money, right-wing money to run against her. Well, and these judges, they after them. All the black girl magic, all will go away. So it's important for events like this. I'm glad you're doing it. I've asked her to leave it on display a little longer next week so people can come, but I'm glad to be here. Now, you asked me to mention why I have these white pants on. So tomorrow morning, there will be an unveiling of these murals. You've seen this mural. This is how you use art to give a subliminal message. Now, people pull up and they see this mural with these black boys on it, and you think, oh, that's colorful, that's nice. The subliminal message is this is one of the United Nations Sustainability Resolutions to end world hunger. And this group that did it, Street Art for Mankind, I think they're going to come over here and eat if y'all don't wolf down all of the lamb chops. I was going to take them to eat Texas barbecue. Why would I have to eat that trash when you got a world-class chef here? So they're going to come in and eat. But that mural is to make the point. Why should we have hunger? Why should children die because they're malnourished in Houston? And they come in to unveil 8 other murals tomorrow. There's 17 United Nations sustainability murals that we're going to put up in Houston. And one in particular, Kay was with me. I think about Kay at the last minute. You know, I moved so fast. I called you at 8 o'clock this morning, 8:30 this morning. I said, are you busy? Can you come to 10 o'clock? The mayor and I will be here unveiling this statue beside a little boy, teenage boy on a bicycle. One of the murals, I can't remember which, I think it's about equity, about social equity. We got him from Shape Community Center. I'm not sure if he lives in CUNY Homes or not, but he lives near it. I've not met him, but the artists have. I know it's a challenge trying to get him to come to meet the folk who are painting the murals because I get the feeling he's probably being raised by a grandmother. You know, the story of so many little black boys in particular. But he'll be there tomorrow. We have another mural about human trafficking, sex trade. It's on the side of the Sam Houston building. We picked a local Hispanic girl to be the model. You know, they were saying it's the last minute we can't find one. I said there are only 1.2 million Hispanics in Houston. You tell me you can't get parents tonight because they're going to start painting tomorrow. We have one on a county building right across from a lot of bail bondsmen, with a Native American girl on it. Her mother organizes the dances out at Memorial Park. I told her parents last night, the book I want to read that they ought to write is what Native Americans think of the immigration fights in America today, the ones who had the land first. And then we have an Asian American girl from Houston on a mural outside the Four Seasons. So tomorrow at 10 a.m., 400 Main, 405 Main, the Scandal Building. Look, 405? 400 Main. The little black boys on the, I'll close on this, is on the side of the Scandal Building, which is the site where Sam Houston lived on the top floor, which was probably a two-story building then. First president of the Republic of Texas, who did a lot of great things, and some not so great things, like he owned 12 slaves. Admiral B. Lamar, who Lamar High School is named after him, who tried to commit genocide against the Native Americans, tore up the treaties that Sam Houston signed after we'd taken most of their land. Lamar High School is named after him. But so you should go. I'm sure that Sam Houston nor Lamar ever thought you'd have a little black boy on a bicycle on the side of the building. But Kate, thank you for what you're doing. 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And there's a great street festival going on downtown. But 10 a.m. tomorrow, Saturday. All right?
You didn't mention Worthing.
Oh, yeah, we're going to wait. There'll be a mural coming up on Worthing. So there's more to come. You know, art with a purpose. And tell the DA I said to kiss where the sun don't shine. Next thing I want to talk about me and African art. You get that? Put that on tape. Thank you.
Commission, Jesus, we gotta have prayer. We gotta pray. It's all there. But here is, I hope that what you just heard does not just rush past you. The United Nations has these epic resolutions, and Houston is doing something other cities are not doing in terms of the murals being painted downtown Houston in prominent places so no one can ever forget them. It's extraordinary. How many of y'all would fight slavery right now if slavery was happening? Would you fight it? Come on, would you really fight it? Well, when he mentioned human slavery and trafficking, it's the slave trade. A $150 billion industry. $32 billion industry right here in the U.S. Mostly black and brown children. And we don't think about it. 55% of trafficking survivors were groomed and solicited on school campuses during school hours. So these murals are so important because they call us to action, and that's what I want to thank you for. Because when I think about hunger, it calls me to action. All those murals say we cannot be lazy, we've got to stay on the battlefield. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Jeanette.
You ready? Okay. Now I knew though, I mean, somebody said it, but no, there's no such thing as time. So no, right? Oh, they want one more. Oh, yeah. Now, we didn't, we had it in order. We were going to get you out there to see the statue before it got dark. Even though I hope the lights are on. And if you haven't seen it, what have you, we want you to see it. What I will do tonight, Lauren, is have them bring that in. So the words that are going to go up on the statue, you can read. So we'll have it in here. There's a panel discussion that's scheduled. And I think they're here. Jeff is going to moderate. I don't know how much time, what time is it, Jeff? It's time to go? All right, you ready to, See, I mean, so we're trying to have a party. See, the thing is, we're trying to, let you, have a drink or whatever stuff like so you can feel like, the party, is mixed in with the pound of stuff, It's all good. Thank you, Jeff. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I mean, they're going to be, yes. You should see them. And then the whole wall, I mean, he's not playing at all. It reminds you of, it's like we're somewhere else. Okay, you ready, Jeff?
Yes. How's everybody doing this evening? All right. I want to this very important panel discussion on criminal justice and other matters. And so I want to invite everybody to come over here. These seats over here, because after the panelists will be seated, and I want to ask my panelists, Sasha, with Pure Justice. Did I get that right? Yeah. All right. Anthony. And then Monique Joseph with Restoring Justice.